On 5 News, Wales imposes a strict 2-week fire break in the fight against COVID-19. A widow tells us smart motorways kill. Hello and welcome to 5 News. I'm Dani Sinha. Wales is to go into a second national lockdown for 2 weeks from Friday, with people urged to stay at home. The First Minister called it a fire break and said they had a small window to act together to save lives. All non-essential shops will close, as well as pubs, restaurants and hairdressers. But businesses say they fear for their future. The lockdown coincides with half-term next week, but some pupils will stay home for longer than the usual break. Our chief correspondent Tessa Chapman joins us now from Barry Island in South Wales. And Tessa, this really is a significant step for Wales, isn't it? While there's a call for unity in Wales, division continues in England with stalemate between Westminster and Manchester. The area still hasn't been moved to the toughest tier of COVID restrictions, and it's money that is the sticking point. But some businesses there actually want to be closed so they can access financial grants from the government sooner rather than later. Catherine Jacob has been speaking to them. And joins us now live from Manchester. So, Catherine, still no agreement, but dire warnings today about taking no action at all. Well, aside from negotiations on coronavirus tiers, there's still the matter of our Brexit deal with the EU. Cabinet Office Minister Michael Gove has just updated the Commons, saying they need a fundamental change in position from their European counterparts. Let's join our political editor, Andy Bell. And Andy, a possible development, I think. A lorry driver has been sentenced to 10 months in prison after causing the death of 2 men on a smart motorway near Sheffield last year. Prashemi Slavzuba drove into 2 vehicles which had pulled over onto what would have been the hard shoulder. The wife of one of the victims says the wrong person has been punished and instead blamed the smart motorway system instead. As Tom Barton reports. Coming up on 5 News. We'll see you after the short break. Welcome back. A familiar warning has come from Europe when it comes to dealing with coronavirus. Act now, don't end up like us. Spain's capital is using hotels as makeshift hospitals, and in Italy, they've tightened up lockdown rules with police conducting neighbourhood checks, as Layla Hayes reports. Now, maybe the last thing you fancy on a cold winter's day is a dip in an icy pool, but it could be good for you in more ways than you think. Researchers have found a protein in the blood of cold water swimmers, which slow the onset of dementia and even in some cases reverse the damage. Warren Nettleford reports. And finally, an 80-year-old Army veteran is taking on a titanic challenge for charity. Major Michael Stanley is aiming to row 100 miles along the Chichester Canal in his homemade boat, known as the Titanic. Simon Vigar went to meet him. What a guy. Well, before we go, Claudia Liza is here to tell us what's coming up on 5 News tonight.
Hi, Danny. Well, tonight I'm going to be asking why are rape convictions in England and Wales falling when reports of rape are at a record high. Now, Victor, the one woman who says that she was completely let down. That's all coming up at 6:30, Danny.
OK, thank you very much, Claudia Liza. That's it from us. Claire Nazir's got the weather next. I'll see you again soon, but from all the team, thanks very much for watching and good night.